everybody, Spellman here to discuss EDC Remote Darts, one of my newest sponsors. Now I know what you're thinking. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I wasn't particularly enthused to be participating in some of these events. However, it is a handicapped event and I have a very high average, and therefore I'm giving up a lot of marks. I don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to playing in these things. But what I do enjoy about it is the people that run it are very nice. They're very good at what they do as far as running the events, making sure people are paid on time, but also they listen to the players. They try to keep what works, they try to get rid of what doesn't, and they constantly look for feedback on, player opinions, not just from the top, not just from the bottom, but from everybody. Um, when I approached them about bringing back Beat the Pro, they were more than happy to do so. They were really excited about it, actually. I was excited about it because I don't particularly enjoy playing the open events. One, because we don't really get a ton of signups anyway, and two, the entry fee for the payout is not exactly ideal, um, especially since I do this for a living. The return on investment is not it's not high enough for me right now. But with Beat the Pro, especially as a featured pro, I get to play for free, but I get to play against other players that are trying to beat me in order to win some prizes, some cash, and stuff like that. At some point, I want to do, even if it's once every couple months, basically a Beat the Pro marathon. So the way that the Beat the Pro runs right now is I'm the only pro in the bracket. If you beat me, you get like a special jersey, and obviously you can make some cash and all that kind of stuff. But you have to potentially draw me in the bracket. I would like to, like I said, once every couple months, do basically a Beat the Pro marathon event where basically if you sign up, you get to play me. I did something like that at the end of 2023 where I played something like 80 straight legs nonstop, no break, couple hours. And it was really fun. It was tiring, but it was really fun. I got to play a bunch of people. They seem to enjoy playing me, and that makes it very enjoyable for me. So I want to have an opportunity to play everybody, not just who I happen to draw in the bracket. But anyway, before I touch on some of my more personal opinions on EDC, I just want to run through some of what they do. So first and foremost, you can find them at their EDC, at their Facebook page, EDC Remote. If you come through here, they're going to have a bunch of information as far as like they do live streams. They're going to do one tonight, literally, to announce, I guess, myself as well as some other sponsors. You have a lot of lively discussion in here, but you're also going to see things like, okay, you have the 40 cap. This is the time, this is the format. It's going to go over, what events are running at that moment. In the comments, you're going to see things like you can look at the active player standings. You can look at the bracket. You can see who the bounty was. So it's got a lot of information there. Uh, for that day, a lot of discussion. We'll talk about the discussions that are happening there after I get through this little part here. But then if you also go to edcremote.com, it's fairly easy to set up. Once you get signed in, you can sign up for an account. They've got the player handbook here, which is basically just a gigantic rule book. I don't know if it's going to tell me how many pages. It is 37 pages long. So you have to read this before you, I'm just kidding. You don't have to, but if you're going to make any complaints or questions or whatever, you're probably going to find it in here. So check the handbook first. Anyway, over here, you're going to see stuff. It says events, boards, and stats. Well, let's click events, let's click boards, and let's click stats. Well, if we go to events, it's going to load, and it's going to show you all the events for this particular day. Now, 50 cap, 65 cap, 90 cap, what is a cap? Okay, well, let's say a 90 cap. Or actually, let's say 65 cap singles. Okay. It is your 501 points per dart. So if you're a 75, you divide that by 3. Your points per dart is 25. Let's say your cricket is a 2.5. Okay, we'll multiply that by 10. You're a 25 there as well. So your cricket times 10 plus your a 1, a 25 plus a 25, you're a 50, which means that you can play in anything that is a 50 or lower. Or sorry, 50 or higher. Let me if it's a 45 cap, you can't play in it. Sorry. So yeah, anything that's a 50 cap or, sorry, when I say higher, I mean like You know what I mean. Jesus, I don't know why I'm like tripping up on my words here. But anyway, you're a 50. You can't play in any caps that are lower than 50. So you can play in anything that is higher than that, unless it's, say, a 90 cap doubles where it's you and your partner's combined average. It's not, oh, I'm a 50, so I can play in the 90. It's more like, oh, I'm a 50, I can only shoot with a 40. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, they have a lot of decent money in here. If I'm not mistaken, the carryover it's like it's bounty money. Bounty being that a random person is drawn, whoever that person is. Well, if they win the event, they get to keep the bounty money. If you beat them, you get the bounty money. All of this is also double elimination, by the way. Um, but some of these, if I go to some of these are $30, I think, to play in. Yeah, so some of these are $30 with the admin fee, or like if you want to do the bounty, it adds it in. So if I want to do the bounty, it's $11. If I want to do pop the pot, which if I'm not mistaken it's basically a mystery out. They draw the number at the beginning of the night. If you hit it, then you get to share the pot with anyone else that hit it. Triple shot is exactly that. It's just you get drawn, you'll do a call with them, and you do the triple shot. But anyway, so it's $30 to play in some of these. They also have cheap thrills at the end of the night. I don't know if they have any this particular night. There we go. So $17. Okay, I don't. Let's say I don't want to do the bounty. So $17 to play in those ones. But anyway, they have a bunch of different things. They have open singles. Open singles, obviously being open. Anybody can play in those. Everything is handicapped unless it specifically says it's non-handicapped. So this one right here, 50 cap, non-handicap. But anyway, when you just come here, you go to enter, you put in your information, you have your bullshooter ID, all that kind of stuff, and then yeah, then you just pay up, and then you're good. Then you just go to a bullshooter board near you and go to the bracket, sign in, so you can play your matches at the right time. If you go to the board, which we've already opened over here, it just shows some information on carryover money, who signed up. So if I zoom in on this real quick, you can see that for the singles at 6 p.m., the 50 cap cheap thrills, you've got Ron Shakespeare and Mark Yoder that have signed up for those. So you can see who's signed up for what, to see like, okay, is this event potentially going to run, yada yada. Then you also have uh, the stats, so you can kind of come in here and just kind of see where players are. So this is where the rating. Oh well, I don't know. There we go. So down here you got Spellman, so at 96.92. Where does that come from? Well, it's the 41.82 that I have as my 01 average, and then it's the 5.51 times 10, which brings me up to the 55.1. So 55 and 41 is 96.92. Yeah, 96.92. Sorry, I just realized I have purple, and then I don't know what the difference is between those two, to be honest. I don't know if this is overall average or this is like the inform average. I have no idea. I just now noticed that there's something in purple. Let's see. Uh, let's see. The black average is 6 months, and then there's colored average, which is 100 games in 2 months. Okay, so yeah, it's two averages, kind of a more recent average versus a more historical average. But anyway, yeah, it's super easy to get signed up and play. It is fun at times. It's not fun if you play against somebody that shoots over their average. And for us, we're already at a 6 mark. To go from a 6 up to a 7 is much more difficult than, say, like a 3.5 to go up to a 5. Yeah, that's one extra triple here or there, one big round, and that's it. So it definitely hurts if someone plays even honestly, they don't even have to play above. They just play smart. I'm going to give away a hint here. I've played so many players that I give you an X the entire way down the board, and you just sit there your first turn, just pound the 20s. Well, guess what? I'm going to pound the 19 and the 18 and and I'm going to make you stay on that 20. I have almost never beaten a player that just goes single 20, single 9, single 8, single 7, single 6, single 5. Because now I'm screwed. It doesn't matter if I went up there and just hit 7 17s, because okay, cool, I'm up 68 points, but you got 5 numbers on me, one triple, and the game's over. From there. So don't use that against me. Use that against Maloney and Ram and Baggish and all those guys, but don't use that against me. I'm trying to help you out here. or at least if you beat those guys, send me a tip. Um, but okay, so now that we've gone through kind of like how to get signed up and what it actually is, we can talk about some other things. So I talked about how I was going to have a video going over some of the strategy I had to employ during a win at the EDC live event. I still plan on doing that. The reason I hadn't put it out yet is because I was kind of waiting to announce this and have that be one of my first videos about what I did at the EDC live event. So um, on the Facebook page, you're going to see a lot of commentary about people playing too good or sandbagging or whatever. Here's my opinion on that. It's not an EDC problem. Any sport, anywhere that has a handicap, it's going to be gamed, especially when the payouts are not top heavy. If the payouts were top heavy, then you have some incentive to improve your game. But because the payouts go to who signs up, if there's an open event and a 50 cap and 1,000 people sign up for the 50 cap and 3 people sign up for the open, guess what? The open people are playing for $20, whereas the other cap is going to be playing for hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. And it sucks for high level players. And I'll just bluntly say, like, I don't know if EDC is the place for high level dart players. Like, it can be fun. In the sense that, like, I'm going there almost expecting to lose money, to be honest. But it can be fun to play players that don't normally get to play you, and be competitive with them, because again, it is handicapped. So maybe not the best place for players like myself, but I try to be involved because, look, there's so many other open heads up type things with no handicap that there's no reason that there can't be something like this. This is more of what I would consider the amateur side of darts, getting your feet wet, learning to play under pressure, because it is handicapped. So you're always going to you're going to always have to play well. Otherwise, it's going to be an easy loss. Is it really going to grow your game and get you to the next level? Probably not literally. Handicap is you're handicapping yourself. You're not having to throw well above what your normal is to beat a player like me. Basically all you got to do is just play solid, and that's more than enough. But does it help with gaining experience? Does it help with learning how to play under pressure? Sure, it absolutely does. But is it going to get you there faster? Probably not. You're going to get there faster probably playing something else that's more straight heads up, and then working on the physical side of your game at home. But anyway, if you're concerned about sandbaggers, look, they are there. I don't know how many there are. It's probably not even the majority. Look, you just have to accept. Sometimes players suck. I've had matches where I've gone 9 mark, 9 mark, 9 mark, and then it takes me like 6 damn darts to hit, like, just to hit 2 bowls, because it's almost like you get too comfortable with where you're at. So, am I sandbagging? No. I would have loved to just go double and made it look really pretty. So yeah, you're gonna have players that do something like that. But like I said, it's also very easy for players to shoot well above. The lower you go, if you shoot a 1 mark and you happen to catch one random 9 mark in that game, your average is going to skyrocket just from one good turn. So my thing is, I just always give people the benefit of the doubt. There are times, absolutely times. It's not about someone playing well. And some of the discussions you'll see on the Facebook page are so annoying, because you have some players that are complaining about other players complaining. Then you have other players that are, complaining about players not playing to the best of their ability. And they're all constantly kind of, undermining each other and saying, sandbagging doesn't exist, or get over it, throw better. It's stupid, because obviously it exists, and people have every right to be upset if they felt like they got cheated. And sometimes it's not about one good leg, one good match. There's suspect timing on things. There's things when you've been playing long enough, you can kind of see it. Like the example I gave, it almost never happens. Like, it happens incredibly rarely. However, it does happen. But even I've played players where the timing of certain things. Now, I'm not saying, they just every time they need a 9 mark, they hit a 9 mark. It's not that easy to hit a 9 mark, but there has been some timing on misses or timing on um, certain strategic decisions that doesn't make any logical sense. Now, you could almost argue that, okay, well, these guys are low averages, so maybe their logistical, uh, you know, choices aren't going to be the best in general. But like I said, when you've been playing long enough, there's things I'm never going to suspect it. It's kind of like you see somebody that looks a little bit chubby. You're not going to just assume they're pregnant and go up and be like, oh, what are you due? No, that's just stupid. But also, look, I also know that I have some weird games. So I'm never going to say anything because I'm not that worried about it. I'm only worried about what I'm doing. I'm only worried about me getting better. If you're cheating me, if you're cheating other players, you're only hurting yourself and kind of, douchey of you. That it's, uh, if you really want to get better, if you want to really brag about those wins, come see me in the open. Come see Maloney in the open. We're we're the idiots. We're the ones playing for pennies up in the opens while you guys are raking it in. And so, like I said, it's like, okay, even I have considered lowering my average at one point. I did. You know why? Because when I first signed up for the first night, I gave them my average. I don't remember what it was. It was like I gave them like a 95 or a 96. I don't quite remember. And through most of that night, I was shooting just out my mind, both in O1 and in cricket. And I was going to bust. Bust in the sense that, like, I'm going to potentially not get paid out because I'm shooting like 105 tonight, like a rating, um, which is, they do have a bust rule. If you're a new player, unverified, you give them a rating, and if you shoot 7 points over that rating, you bust out, and you don't get paid for that night, even if you win the event. So at some point, I was like, I'm gonna bust, and I'm not gonna make a dime tonight because I'm having to shoot seven O's, and I'm having to shoot perfect O1 games just to compete tonight. And I was like, I'm already giving you a max handicap. I literally can't give you any more marks in cricket, but I'm still gonna bust out and I get paid. Now, fortunately, I did, but it was a concern. Like, I was like, if I'm already giving you a max handicap, why would I bust myself out? You know, but I didn't. I just played through it and I busted myself because I can't imagine a scenario of ever throwing off on purpose. So I busted. However, I still got paid because I basically maxed out the handicap. So it was kind of a moot point. The whole point of the bust rule is to protect players from newer players that maybe don't come in with an accurate average. But anyway, the whole point is don't worry about it. An example from the steel tip side: when COVID hit and everybody started playing tournaments online. Well, it eventually shifted to money tournaments online, and I vowed I was never going to do that because I don't trust people, especially when money's there. But the longer I waited and the more I started seeing it become more and more popular, I decided, you know what? If I get cheated, that's their problem. It's not mine. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna see it as I'm paying $15 for really good practice tonight. And if you got to cheat to beat me, that's your problem. I'm gonna get better. And you know what? I did. So just look at it as practice. Don't go in there expecting to win. Don't go in there expecting to play a sandbagger. Don't go in there expecting. Just go in there, play your best, and get better. And if somebody cheated you, then that really sucks. And I know it took money out of your pocket, but you know what? That's on them. And if you have really strong evidence for it, report it to the admins. We don't want those people there. You don't want those people there. And then guess what? Those people, because of the type of people they are, they're going to get upset and whatever. Who cares? They don't belong there. They belong up in the open with me. In fact, uh, I wouldn't even say to get those people out of the event. I would just say those people are marked as the highest rating you can get. So they can still play, but they're going to have to earn everything they get from that point forward. It's almost like a probationary period, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I know that it might surprise you that I'm working with EDC, but I do. I'm sure I said it earlier. I really like the people that run it. They listen. Um, they make changes all the time. They get player input and feedback. They really are trying to make something great, which is why I want to work with them. I want to work with people that aren't just going to be like, this is our way, get over it, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to make something great, something different. And that's all I'm ever trying to do is what can I do different than everybody else? So I'm working with them, and I'll still be involved, through the Beat the Pro on the occasional, nightly open singles events. Going to try to make the live event again. The live event, just like last year, is going to have on-site bonuses. So if you play remote, you can do that, which is really great. I've been floating that idea on the steel tip side of having like proxy events where you go to the venue that is nearest and cheapest to you, and if you have somebody to play there in person, you play them in person. If you have someone to play at a different venue, you play them remotely through Dart Connect, and have an official scorekeeper and all that stuff. But so it's a hybrid event. You can play remote. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own town to play in it. Now, if you show up, they have on-site bonuses. So if the first place on-site bonus is $400, well, even if you finish fifth place in the tournament, but you were the last person alive at the live event, you get the first place bonus. So the bonuses are not paid to everybody. It's only paid to the players on site, and you get it based on your finishing there in the on site. Not the literal finish. First place is first place. It's I got fifth place, but I was the last person at the live event, so I get it. This is, like I said, higher pay for the mid tier and lower tier. So like when Jimmy Jones and I won the doubles event in New Orleans, we got 400 for first, and we also got 400 for the on-site bonus. So we made $800, 400 apiece. If I'm not mistaken, the capped event was $2,000 for both. So they got 1,000 apiece. So they made a lot more money than I am. But like I said, just sign up, try it out. Also, almost forgot. If you sign up for any coaching with me, the EDC is giving. Sorry, let me rephrase that. If you sign up with coaching for me for at least 2 hours, so if you're a new person, it's going to be 2 hours anyway because the first session is always 2 hours. If you've worked with me before, if you book 2 extra hours, not time you've already spent, paid for and have pocketed, but 2 additional hours, EDC will give you a free event to just try it out. So all it's going to cost you is the coin drop at the bar. There's no risk to you. You get to try it out. So come see me if that's something that's interests you. Otherwise, just go try it out. It's just a little bit of money. Like I said, play one of the cheap ones, $17. You get to try it out, see how you liked it, and go from there. Now, I don't particularly love handicapped events. That's why 99% of what I play is open, straight up events. But every now and then, like I like chocolate ice cream, but every now and then I want some. Okay, I was gonna say some vanilla, but like I still have like chocolate chips or like hot fudge or something. But still, you get the point. Sometimes you want something different. Sometimes I'm in the mood to push myself and play a handicapped event. So I know this one was like really long because I wanted to kind of give a little bit of additional information on everything. But if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer those for you. Like I said, they're not sponsoring me to be a shill for them. I'm going to be positive, and I don't want to say negative. I'll be critical when I need to be, and I'll be, I'll promote the good things that they do when I need to be or when I need to. So, like I said, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all, and you can look them up again at edcremote.com and their EDC Remote Darts Facebook page. All right, guys. See ya.